Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Barely Bookish podcast. Today I'm joined by Alex, and we are going to be continuing on with Jane Eyre, our favorite little vampiric child.
Now an adult-ish,
Ish. I mean,
experiencing adult problems in an English manor house.
I mean, adult, maybe. Adult adjacent.
She,
Adult ish.
she is still a teenager, to be clear.
Hmm.
She is 18 or 19 years old or whatever.
Something like that. But she's just like too young and full of life to be considered truly an adult.
I agree, but she's also on that weird, because of her vampiric origins, she's also on that weird, like, death's door where she's very old as well.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
Jane Eyre is that perfect, like, really young person who just has an old soul, and you're like, is it because you're wise or you're just traumatized? Which is
Hmm.
it?
Hmm.
In Jane's case, it's trauma.
I saw this thing on TikTok where people were talking about how old soul means that you were just a really weird kid.
Yeah, yes, 100% accurate. As a child described as that, yes.
Hmm.
Very true. It was a
Yeah,
fucking weirdo.
oh, that makes sense. I see it. Yeah. Um, I guess this means Jane has entered her what calling? Is that what they call it when you become a vampire?
She's been called, right? Yeah.
Is it culling? I don't know.
I don't know either, but
I know it's spelled Cullling.
it's got to be a culling then.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
okay.
guessing.
Mm.
I hope it doesn't mean something that it shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Get in the comments if it does. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I know this podcast doesn't have comments, but it does have Instagram DMs, and I'll respond to like the first couple.
Perfect. And then relay them to me.
Yeah,
So I like to know when I'm wrong so I can learn.
I know, truly. Like, please don't let me slack on it because I'm trying my best.
We're all just
And I want
trying
to
our
be
best.
better.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are on to chapter 18. So, house is absolutely full of life. Um, but problem, it's been raining and everybody is stuck inside.
They're cooped up.
They're cooped up, which you know means the worst things are about to happen.
Yes. No movie ever started with a bunch of people trapped in a old manor house and it's raining and then things got better from there. No, that
Yeah,
we're at the pinnacle. Things can only go downhill.
nobody sets up on the rain being like movie time. For some reason they're like, what if we just committed murder?
Right. What if we found out each other's darkest secrets and blackmailed each other about it until someone snaps and kills us? Perfect.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
what could go wrong? You don't always just start with truth or dare, but the dare is tell me your darkest secret.
Oh my! This is a slasher movie that I need to write. Excuse me. Hold on. just gonna just gonna make a note to myself on this.
Oh, you pick truth. So did you kill Miss Wilson?
Right, we're still playing Truth or Dare as the bodies drop around us. Why are we still playing? Gentleman's agreement.
One of us in this room is the killer.
That's right. But we have to make. Yeah, we decided to start this game, so gall darn it, we're gonna finish it.
It's like that hide and seek horror movie, except truth or dare.
I don't know that
I've
I've
never
seen.
seen it.
I
I haven't
haven't
seen
either.
it. I all I know,
Hmm.
all I know from the premise I got from the trailer is that it's like this girl marries into this family and they're all rich pompous people, of course, obviously, what else would they be? And they're in this giant mansion and she like draws a card and it says truth or dare, ha ha, or hide and seek, ha ha ha. And the husband looks at her terrified and he's like, you better hide. And then they all chase her down and hunt her. That's all I know.
That sounds fun. I'd watch that movie.
I mean, honestly, same. I don't know why I forgot the movie existed. It's on my list with Megan. I have to watch it at some point. But
I also need to watch Megan because I do
yeah,
love a killer doll story.
honestly, that was my first horror book I ever read. Was a Killer Doll story, and it traumatized me because I was in fifth
Which
grade.
one? Which one was this?
I think it was called "Good Girls Don't Die" or "Good Girls Don't Cry." Something. A Barbie doll was haunted.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I was in like maybe fifth grade. It was in the children's section.
Yes.
um, and I was traumatized. And unfortunately, it was the same era and time in which we'd go to my grandparents' house and my sibling would inevitably play with Barbies.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. So I just have a distinct memory of like reading it and looking up, and this Barbie was on a like little thing, and I just picked it up and I put it in the drawer.
Just no, you're put away for right now.
Yeah, and my grandma's like, "Why did you put that in the drawer?" I was
Stop asking
like,
questions, Grandma. What is this? The Spanish Inquisition? Go away. It's fine.
"It's fine. I'm not traumatized. I don't know what you're talking about."
Funny adjacent story. When I was in 6th grade, my English teacher called a parent teacher conference specifically for me
Mhm,
because I read The Shining, and they found me reading The Shining, and they were like, "Do you know about this?" And my parents were like, "Yeah."
mhm.
I was not traumatized, but my English teacher really thought I was, and apparently my had to have a conversation with my parents. It was like, "I think this child is reading things that are a little too macabre," and I'm like, "I don't know. It's just about a hotel lady. What do you want from me?"
Still have to read The Shining. Still got
It's
to
on.
make that our next book.
Yep,
Yep.
that is on the list.
Hmm. Hmm.
I still have my copy of The Shining from 5th grade. I want to say when I first.
Amazing.
It is so beat to. I will see if I can find it for the next one and show you,
Yeah.
because
Send me a picture, please.
it's time that I get a new one.
Hmm.
And reading The Shining for this would be an excellent excuse to do that.
I don't think I even own a copy of it. Somehow, I own a bunch of Stephen King books that like people have given me because they're like, "Oh, you like to read? What genre? Unknown. Here you go."
He's an author, you know.
Yeah,
People know this guy. He writes books. He writes books that people read. There you go.
that's the same way I ended up with a way too much collection of Nora Roberts. Is they're like, "Oh,
Oh
you like to read?"
no, no.
I don't know a single thing about her. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, why don't
So
you should pick one and read it and see what happens.
yeah, I it's funny. Like I just have all these people all the time. Like I feel like at this point, podcast is canonically that I don't read popular books. I have no idea what's going on. Like not only do I not know what's going on in pop culture, I wish I did. I wish I was more connected to the universe. However, somehow time has passed me by and I've just been a bystander. And I don't know what I was reading because I read all the time, but it wasn't anything that people think I should have.
Hmm, interesting.
Yeah. I think the problem was is that I got way too into free books I could get on my Amazon account. So I've
Uh-huh.
read a lot of like indie authors.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, but
I've
like
read a lot of garbage in my time because I read books that people said I was supposed to read.
yeah. Yeah.
So if you enjoyed it, more power to you, because
Yeah.
the alternate path is you've got boxes full of paperbacks that you read and were like, okay, well, there's 2 days of my life I'm never getting back. Great. Not to be snooty about it. Was that a moth or a
I
dust?
think it was dust.
Nice, because
I
you're
don't
in a
know.
sunbeam, a ray of
Yeah.
sun.
It scared me though, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, what?
Actually, it was probably a ghost.
It's it's Jane Eyre coming back to haunt us.
Jane Eyre reminding us that we have many chapters to get through. It's like, talk more
Truly.
about me.
Jane Eyre's like, I don't care about all these other books. Listen to me.
Right.
My book.
This is my book, and we are going to
Mhm.
talk about it. Jane, you egotistical monster.
So Rochester's like, "Hey Jane, would you play charades with us?" And she's like, "No."
Mm-mm. No, hard pass, my guy. Hard pass.
And then Lady Ingram calls Jane stupid for no reason. She's just like, "You're not smart enough to play with us."
Just the offhand cruelty in these chapters is delicious.
Yeah.
Miss Ingram should. I want a book from her perspective, honestly. And I say this because we got Wide Sargasso Sea, which is a book from Rochester's perspective about
Mhm.
his life.
Oh.
Yes. So there's a, don't look it up yet because of
Okay.
spoilers. But
Okay. Yeah.
there was a book written in the 70s called Wide Sargasso Sea. I want to say it's the 70s. I'm making that up. I haven't googled it.
Hmm. Hmm.
If I'm wrong, don't at me. But it's from Rochester's perspective of like when he was a younger man, and what his
Okay.
life was like when his brother was the heir before he died, and then sort of leads up to the events of
Mm,
Jane Eyre. It's very good. However, major plot spoilers in it, so read it
yeah.
after you've read Jane Eyre. But I want a Miss Ingram one because I feel like she's a bitch, and I want to
Yeah.
know exactly why.
Well, calling Jane a moron was from Lady Ingram, not even Miss
Oh,
Ingram
that's
either.
right. It was
Yeah.
okay. So that does explain some. Mom is also terrible, so you know.
Honestly, POV of either of them, I'm okay with because like I feel like they're the same person. Like they're both actively awful.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. You could do a thing where
Um,
you get both perspectives in the same book. It'd be beautiful.
I'm fine with that.
The
Yeah.
Ingrid or the Ingram file, something along those lines. Yes.
Fan fiction writers, get at me.
Yeah, get on it. Let us know what you make. I want to read
Yeah.
it.
I there's so many things and just every podcast episode I'm like, this is what I want fan fiction writers. Please let me know. And it's at this point, am I putting too many requests in? I need to know. Am I?
No,
Maybe.
you know how many works are on AO3 if it still exists. I haven't checked in a while.
Oh, I know they got like terrorist attacked.
Yeah, I don't know if they're back up and running, but
I've heard they are.
okay, that would be nice because
Yeah.
there's a lot of fanfic there. So a few requests. There are people out there who could do this for us.
I know someone was saying like at the government, even AO3 can handle it or something. Like I saw a bunch of memes about it, but I don't really know. I haven't kept up. Again, really bad with keeping up with news.
Honestly, it's been a hot summer in terms of both things happening and temperature. So I don't blame you at all.
Yeah. I had a work thing by the pool today, and it was like 98 degrees. Like I was melting
Ugh.
actively, actively
I
melting.
I am currently actively melting because my AC literally exploded today.
No,
Yes.
no.
It had been making a noise, so we were trying not to use it, and then my partner oh, my car is also broken, so I'm the only one who can go to work right now. Uh yes.
No.
So I've been driving my partner's car to work, and she can work from home. So she's been doing that. And she texted me today and was like, I think something just happened to the AC. I just heard a loud boom. And further investigation involved calling a lot of repair places, one of whom actually managed to come out like within an hour, which was great. But he opened up the box in the house, and the fan had literally exploded, like shrapnel style. It was mangled all to hell. So
No.
I get to spend the next few days without an air conditioning, and I hate it.
That's worse. For future reference, hopefully you'll never go this through this again. But I've heard that it's better just to leave it running because it's more work on the AC system to bring down the temperature.
Okay.
So apparently it costs more in electric bill too if you
Okay.
turn it back on.
Good to
Doesn't help
know.
you anymore,
Nope.
but in case it ever happens again. I mean, we'd
Taking
all think
notes.
that the right thing would to do would be to turn it off when you're not using it, but I don't know. I just saw something online about it the other day.
Well, right. I mean, I assume that if you let it, it's the same problem if you don't want wide swings of anything. You just want to kind of stay where you are
Yeah,
and get it. So anyway,
that sucks though.
I feel your pain. My office is 20 degrees warmer than it usually is, at least. There's a reason I'm in a tropical shirt and not a regular shirt, because this is the only thing that breathes enough for me to not melt to death right
You
now.
got to get your partner one of those Porta AC systems so she can at least survive.
We have one window unit from when we
Mhm.
lived in an apartment. It's currently in our bedroom so that we can actually go
Fair.
to sleep. Because otherwise, I would not sleep for 5 days.
Has Finn left your bedroom?
So funny story about Finn. He loves hot, so
Oh,
he's just been wandering around, laying places.
he's like, this place is so much better now.
Right. It's like it's not at the point where he shivers constantly because he is a
Mhm.
tiny dog and tiny dogs shiver. He doesn't do
Yeah.
that, but he's always wrapping himself in blankets. Like he nests all the time.
Mhm.
And today he's just been like living his best. I'm gonna walk around and lay wherever the fuck I want life. So he
Love
seems to
that for
enjoy
him.
it. Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know why you guys are sweating. Weird.
What's going on? What is this sweat? Stop it.
Knock it off.
When he first lived with us, I lived in a house with no AC, and the windows on the room that I was in were
Mhm.
not big or they were custom sized, so they did not fit a standard window unit. So I
Mhm.
had no air conditioning in my room whatsoever. And like during the summer, it was in Minneapolis in an urban space. It got over 100 degrees regularly, and we
Ugh.
would just like lay there and not move. And it was even enough too much for him. I would have to take him to the bathroom, turn the cold shower on, and just like run his tiny body under it for a
Oh.
minute, and then he would like perk up and then just go back to being like, "Bleh." It was
Oh
awful.
no.
This is a long
Yeah,
rant about heat. I'm sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. When I was in London and they didn't, because they don't have AC anywhere, I was taking like 4 showers a day during the summer. I was like, like, and it was only like the hottest it got up to was like 75, 80 one day.
That's still warm.
Yeah. And it's like I'm fine. However, I feel like I stink. And it's like
Yes.
cuz you can never get out of it,
Yep.
you know? Then it's like bleh, all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's awful.
Yeah. I was glad I was at least on the second floor so I could keep my windows open at night cuz like a couple of the girls I knew were on the first floor. So there's just people walking by.
Ugh.
And I'm like I would not be able to have my window open
No.
to sleep. Like if there's someone there,
No,
what do
thank
they
you.
break in?
I mean, it's London. People are polite there. Do they do that?
I don't know. There was a big pickpocketing problem. I was told when we
Oh
were there.
no.
Yeah, so people were like, "Be careful with your phones" and blah 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 and all this like safety stuff because it's like they sent a bunch of 18-year-olds to Europe and then like
Very wise. Yes.
yeah yeah someone I knew got her phone pickpocketed right out of her hands day one.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's
because it's like
incredible.
obvious because she's like on her phone looking at the map,
Mm-hmm.
loosely not holding on to it at all.
Of course.
And it's like they told us very clearly, they're like, look at your directions and put your phone in your pocket so you look like you know where you're going. And I'm like, heard. I just
Yeah.
won't ever know where I'm going.
Right. I'm just gonna wander and
Yeah.
hopefully get where I'm going.
Did a lot of meandering.
Mhm.
Eventually I got to a store. It was fine. Like, and I'm not saying that like, it's a big city, there's crime. It's fine. Like, not dogging on London for any
No.
reason.
No. 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 One of my very good friends in high school was on the band, the high school band. Took a
Hmm.
trip to New York. This idiot wore his tuxedo out to their first outing, mugged immediately.
Oh
Just
yeah.
like,
Mm-mm.
just like my guy. What do you? Don't
No.
wander around the streets in a tuxedo. I'm not trying to victim blame here, but like
Yeah.
a little forethought, please,
Yeah.
please.
Like we all got there the first day and immediately changed what we wore. Like we
Right.
looked around, saw what everybody was wearing. First of all, nobody wore shorts. So we all ran to the store and bought jeans. And then everybody also was wearing denim skirts before it was like popular here. And I was like,
Mm.
am I gonna buy a denim skirt just to wear it here and never wear it at home? And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be a denim skirt. And then like I get home and like 5 months later, everyone's wearing denim skirts. I'm like, oh, man, I should
Fuck.
have bought it. What am I doing?
You had the chance and you missed it.
Yeah, I was mad.
That is a thing that you can tell if someone's American is wearing shorts. It's a thing we do.
Yeah,
It's a thing we
yeah.
do.
Especially those khakis.
Oh, awful.
The jorts, even worse.
Oh, mm. Listen, I love a jort. I love a
Mhm.
jort, not on me. I would never wear jorts ever in my life. Absolutely not. But I appreciate a jort on other people. John
Mhm.
Cena looks great in jorts. Let's be real.
Always stunning.
Immaculate jort game, okay?
Here's the thing: if you're wearing jorts You also need to be holding some sort of grilling item.
Ooh, yeah, accessorizing the jort is important.
Hmm. There should be, like, what I'm imagining in my head. Just walk with me on this little brain journey.
I'm here.
Jorts, and then, like, dads that are way too into grilling, but also World War II.
Yes, I do in fact know them.
I'm imagining one of those like ammo belts. However, it's just burger seasonings, like holstered in,
A
and then there's a
bandolier of
pocket.
seasoning.
Yeah, there's a
Beautiful.
pocket for the grill flipper, whatever that's called. I can't remember.
Hmm.
Spatula, grill spatula. I don't
Spatula.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a pocket for tongs.
Yeah, you got to have a
Some
place for
sort of
tongs.
barbecue situation, and then just like some. They're doing a lot of flipping with the spatula.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You got to have a
jorts.
thermometer as well.
Mm-hmm. White New Balances.
Absolutely, it's white New Balances.
Hmm.
Yes, I don't think you're legally allowed to wear jorts without them.
I'm saying, as someone who does own white New Balances, yes.
Correct. Oh man, jorts. Fine.
I I want you to know that I'm like trying to figure out a like way to smooth us into the thing. And I'm like, and speaking of our favorite jorts, man, Rochester, but that doesn't work.
Rochester is absolutely a jorts man. Absolutely would wear jorts because he don't fucking care. He's like,
No,
people's opinion, fuck them.
who
I'm gonna wear
cares?
these jorts because they're comfortable and I want to grill something, okay? Because
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
manly, all right?
Literally. I would love to see him act this out in charades. I feel like that would
Yes.
be a better addition than the weird things that do happen during the charades game.
Right, let's talk about those because
Yeah,
this is the lamest game of charades in history.
yeah. So Jane sitting off to the side, watching this charades thing happen. So first of all, this is the most elaborate game of charades. They're getting costumes together. They're basically putting on a tiny play.
Right, I think that violates the laws of charades.
Yeah,
It helps the guessing, which is I think that's
not
a
the point.
no-no. No. This
Yeah.
is supposed to be your pure non-verbal
Hmm.
communicative skills.
Correct.
And I listen, maybe costuming does fall into that. Maybe I have a too narrow view of what this is supposed to be. But it's like it's just whatever's in the fucking trunk in the attic that Rochester's
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, we had these things when I was a kid, and it's like feathery boas and
Yeah.
sheets and a sandal that you don't
Yeah.
have the other sandal to match.
Well, to me, it's like you're playing that like picture guessing game, Pictoro or something, whatever that one's called. And then one of the people's an artist, and you're like, okay,
Wait, right? This is unfair.
yeah,
We need
like
an equal playing field.
we all know what that is, James. You have the best drawing. You sell it for money. Like we all know that that's a hot dog.
Ah,
So give the rest of our teams a fighting chance.
yeah, James, you have to tie. You have to. If you're gonna draw, you have to do it with the hand that is not your dominant hand.
Yeah, do it with the
Draw a
other.
hot dog with your left hand, James.
Yeah,
Do it.
do it with your foot, James.
Come on, James. Stop ruining everybody's fun, you fuck.
Stop being good and having talent, James. It's
Yeah.
unfair for the rest of us.
We don't like it when people are good at shit here. Get out.
James, Linda does accounting. She doesn't know how to draw, so we can't have you on the same team.
Linda is crying, James. She is in the corner crying. Now
You
look what
said
you've
her
done.
dog looked like a cat, James. I'm sorry that Linda didn't know how to draw a hot dog.
She tried her best, James.
Oh my god. So, this whole thing, James is just sitting there watching Rochester and Mrs. Ingram interact, and she's having the worst time.
Oh, it's real bad.
Yeah.
We are
She's
we are in a
stewing.
spiral.
Yeah. So she's like, I know Rochester's gonna marry her. And she's like, I can't stop loving him. And I'm like, girl, you are 18 and this is the first man you've ever met.
who wasn't actively terrible. And when I say actively terrible, I mean Rochester does speak to Jane as though Jane is a human being
Hmm.
45% of the time, which is almost half the time. So,
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
pretty
he hates
good.
everyone, so he just talks to her like he talks to everybody else.
Right. But the mere fact that he's talking to her is like, that's a good sign, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
He's not throwing books at her.
Yeah.
He's not saying she's a liar in front of the whole school and telling everyone that she's Satan. The bar is low, but he hasn't
Yeah.
tripped over it, you know?
There we
He's
go.
he's crossed the hurdle.
Yeah, he didn't take it as like a little, oh, I was gonna make a joke and I can't remember. It's not the Macarena. What is that called?
The
When you
hokey
go,
pokey?
no, when you go under.
Oh, it's a
the-
limbo.
Yep, that's the word I was looking for.
I
Man,
like that
joke's
my
ruined.
mind immediately went to hokey pokey. Excuse me. I'm in a weird place right now. Well, it's a dance people do. The hokey pokey, of course. Whomst amongst
I
us hasn't?
truly, I today I went to this event at work and I misread. I thought we were getting facials.
Oh no.
Apparently, it was kids' face paint. And I can't explain to you how bitterly disappointed I was.
This skin has been expecting exfoliation for hours.
I was so excited. Well, we were also supposed to be able to get like 10-minute massages, and that didn't happen. So I don't know if I
Fuck.
actually misread it
Mm.
or if it was just kind of like one of those things where it was promised, but like they were like, that's a
Okay,
lot.
so the facial person can't show up. I don't know, James. You want to draw on people's faces? Only hot dogs and cats, James. That's all. That's
That's
all you can
all.
do. If you draw a dog on Linda's face, so help me God.
Oh, look, James, you made Linda cry again. This is one time not enough for you.
No, you monster. James is my new
Oh.
callback for this episode. Don't mind me. I'm gonna try to get it at least one more time.
Yeah, 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 I believe in you. So, Jane just like straight roasting Blanche. She's like, she's cold at Adele, so she's the worst, obviously. Um, and she's like talking about all the things, all the interactions she sees with Adele and Blanche, and she's or Miss Ingram, and she's like, she's mean when she thinks nobody's paying attention. So obviously he's gonna be unhappy with her. Like this is very like rom-com esque when like they're watching this girl, our main character is watching the man she loves marry someone else, and it's like somehow this girl is the worst person alive, and he's like he shouldn't be with her, he should be with me instead. But it's like, why is this man marrying her if this is the worst human being you've ever met? I don't understand how we got to this point.
I think the thing that wigs me out the most about this is that from what we've seen of Jane interacting with Adele, she's not much better.
No.
Like, she, she's like, this child is dumb. This child has no talents. This child can't sing. She's annoying. And it's just like, okay, they have some moments where she's like, I want to go to the party. And Jane's like, ugh, fine. Ugh,
Yeah.
guess I'll babysit you. So it's like, Jane isn't the worst, but it's like, her child management skills leave a lot to be desired. And
Yep.
for her to be roasting Miss Ingram on it, I don't know that it's fair. I don't know that
Oh,
it's fair, Jane.
yeah. I was like, okay, girl, I guess. But like,
I also want to
it's
know who Charlotte Bronte based this character on,
so
because
badly.
you know that she did. You know
Mhm.
she's like, oh, this bitch. I'm gonna
Mhm.
roast her so hard. I want to know who it was. It was probably some very nice person, and I'm guessing that Charlotte Bronte was just like those relationships where one person absolutely hates the other one and the other
Mhm.
person absolutely has no idea this person exists.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
picturing this sort of thing, just like the look at the way she's eating that muffin. Ugh, I hate her so
Funny
much.
enough, that happened to me in middle school. I was
What?
the person someone actively despised, and like told people I like bullied her. First of all, I was bullied in middle school. So like I would have sympathy for anybody that was being bullied. But she's like, "Yeah, Rachel's the worst person alive. She's so mean. She bullied me all the way through 6th grade." And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen. Do we go to school together? Like, I don't think I've ever seen this girl before in my
Do
life.
you go here?
Yeah, and I like someone told me about this girl, and I was like, should I apologize? Because I have no idea who she is. Like, I'm
That's
like,
a,
I've literally never seen her. I don't know why she's saying I like bullied her because I literally had never spoken to her. We didn't have
that's it. That's
classes
the
together.
bullying. That's the
Yeah,
bullying. You didn't notice.
I was,
Rude.
yeah, I guess. I was like, we didn't even have classes together. So I'm like, how did she even know my name?
So, how does it feel to be Miss Ingram? Tell us.
Yes. It was the wildest thing that ever happened to me. And like I think about it once in a while. I'm like, does she still like think about me? Like I know her first name, I still don't know her last name.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
I know. And it's like and it's like I've really tried to reflect to make sure that I never did anything. But I'm like, I didn't even know this girl. Like I had to have her pointed out to me in a crowd and I had never seen her before.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I think about it all the time. Not all the time, but like once in a while when like situations like this come up where they're like
Hmm.
talking about like people not knowing that they bullied someone, and I'm like, I there's no way I did because like I literally never been in this girl's presence before, to my knowledge. I had never had a conversation with her before. I was like, did she like somebody I dated, like, and
Ooh.
told people that I bullied her? I don't know.
Is
I
there
have
like
no.
a Munchausen's for bullying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Urgh.
Yeah. I just it's just one of those things that I think about because it's like I've seen it brought up a couple times on like Reddit where it's like people that were bullied talk
Hmm.
about how their bully doesn't like remember them or whatever. And it's
Hmm.
like every time I think about that, I think about this instance and I'm like I just like I need to know, did I do something wrong or like did this girl make this up? Because I was like, there's no way we ever interacted. Or did she
Uh
like say like did someone tell her about me that I was like talking all this trash about her? Like is that how that happened? Or like
mm,
'cause again, there was like four Rachels. So
okay. Uh to the girl that Rachel was bullying in middle school. Get in the comments if that was you. Let us
yeah,
know if and please tell us because we want to know.
I know. Because there was another Rachel that was a mean girl. So
Mm.
I'm like, it must have been her?
Is this a case of mistaken identity?
I don't know. I don't know. I just I think
There's a
about it all the time.
TTRPG in this somewhere.
Truly, I don't know.
I am fascinated by this story.
Yeah. Like
As
I
someone who is not really bullied or a bully, who
mhm.
just sort of existed in that space. I mean, apart from my parents, bless them, they did their best, but it wasn't great. I love you, but you did bully me.
5.
Uh, I don't have a lot of experience with bullying beyond like, the shit you see on in it, for example. So I'm like, were you throwing rocks at people? Were you threatening to carve your
Yeah.
initials into people?
Yeah. Like I was spit on before. Like
Oh God,
that kind of
no,
level. Yeah.
no, I hate that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Push you in a
no.
trash can.
What?
Yeah. So it's like there's no way I did any that thing like that to anybody else
And
at
you're
all.
sure it's not a memory reversal where you were the one putting people in trash cans and you've just remembered
Definitely
it that
not.
way? Okay, all
Definitely
right.
not. Because there was reports made because I had like
Okay,
active bruising, you know?
okay, all right. So
Yeah.
we okay.
Because like I literally had to make a report and then they're like, are you sure that he didn't like you? And I'm like,
Stop.
oh.
No.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm just adjusting to that statement. And the fact that you were the fact that you were gaslit and girl bossed in like
I
seventh
just
grade.
want to know where she is now. I, I'm so confused about it.
I feel like we have the tools at our disposal if we wanted to go down this rabbit hole. Just,
I only know her first name.
but we know you know what school you went to.
Yeah, I'd
I
have.
bet you could find a yearbook somewhere.
Yeah, I'd have to
And
do a
then we
lot of
have
digging.
Facebook.
Yeah, I'd have to do a lot of digging.
Yeah, and time
This
is
may
precious.
happen. This may happen later. I'll let you know if I decide to dig into it.
I think
Find
this
the
is a
middle
great
school.
idea for another podcast, just saying.
Hello, welcome to my podcast where I find out all the things I may have possibly did wrong, or did you gaslight me? With your
Right.
host.
Incredible. I listened to it, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Am I the worst, or was I gaslit? With your host, Rachel.
Me. Who could have been either of those things? Who knows?
Like, I'd love to, like, repent, but also I don't think I did those things. Because, like, again, if I, like, verbally talked all this trash about her, one, I didn't know any of the names of the people that she said I was talking trash to. So there's a problem there. I don't think it was me.
Listen, I am not an unbiased source. However, I I think you've probably been the victim of a misidentification
Yeah.
or spite. You know,
Yeah. Because the hard part is, like, the person who told me that I, like, bullied this girl is not something a person I would trust anyways with knowledge. But,
okay.
like, this girl did, like, when he told me, I think he knew that she was telling me and she was, like, glaring at me. So
I want to get little reenactment scenes of this done. Like I'm picturing
middle
a
school
whole
bleachers.
I'm picturing a
1
whole
a.m.
true crime documentary, okay? Just
Yeah.
just pitching that to you whenever you have time.
Yeah. If we dive into my middle school, there's going to be a lot of things. It was a time. It was a time.
Truly,
Very
truly.
punk rock, but very depressing.
That is a vibe. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. Um anyways, so yeah, moving past that, let's talk about
The charades
Jane.
happened. Great.
So Jane decides that she knows exactly what would cause Rochester to fall in love. And I'm like, are you sure? Seeing as you've never seen him in love?
No, Jane knows. Tell us, Jane. Tell us, Jane, what exactly is it?
They're twin flames. Their souls are connected. Obviously, she would know.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I also wrote a note that says Jane sees no bad in Rochester. Rose-colored glasses much? And I'm very proud of that note.
No, it's 100% accurate because as much as I adore this man, he is the
Mhm.
worst. He
Yeah,
is just a
actively.
dumpster fire of a human being. And we'll find out, there's more. One of his finest dumpster fire moments is in the next chapter, for me,
Ugh,
personally.
yeah, yeah. Um, Blanche decides to call Adele a tiresome monkey.
I mean, whomst amongst us hasn't called a child a tiresome monkey?
I just
So, like, mood, Blanche, I get it, but not in front of people.
what a choice though. Like if of all the things to like throw out there, I feel like that's just really off the wall for me.
It carries a certain
Yeah,
disdain to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would have thought she would have gone with like peasant,
Peasant
tiresome,
is a good
something like
one.
something you see every day. I don't think she's ever seen a monkey before.
Probably not, but I mean Adele is kind of fancy, and she might be Rochester's daughter? Question mark. So
Yeah.
maybe Blanche is pulling her. Rochester is nobility, so uh,
I don't know. I guess maybe she didn't want to like. She could always say that it was a term of endearment. Maybe.
right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the tone
Yeah, yeah,
clearly
yeah, yeah.
conveyed the endearment.
I don't know. Maybe she was hoping that she could get out of it. I don't know. I don't know what the plan was here. Um, but then some random dude shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm Rochester's friend. I'm just gonna stay and wait here until he gets back. If that's cool." And Jane's like,
Sus.
"Yeah, who are you?" And then she's like, "You know what? This dude is actively boring looking. Like,
Oh, yes. Just
she's like,
another chance for her to just be like, men are gross except for Rochester.
mm-hmm. She's like, if he doesn't have like a cute little scar or I don't know, like some ruggedness about him, I'm not interested.
Jane is absolutely one of those people who has a list of
Mm-hmm.
very specific things their partner has to have. And as Jane notices things in Rochester, she's just adding them to the list.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
like they have to be extremely sarcastic and sardonic. They have to not seem to like me much.
Mm-hmm.
Square. I don't like other shapes in my men. Dark hair is good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Brooding even better.
Brooding is really good. Just like miserable. Just an absolute sad sack of a human being. Very appealing to me.
Mm-hmm. Hate everyone, maybe even me. Better.
Excellent. Mysterious child ward, so good. So good.
Ex girlfriends, maybe ex wives, unknown. Best.
It
She in
has to
quotes.
happen.
In quotes, it's just experience.
Yes.
She's like at least 20 to 30 years older. Even
Mm-hmm.
better.
So good. Absolutely what I'm looking for.
I just like
Anyway,
the
this
idea.
guy is not that.
No, I like the idea that it's tacked to her wall in her room,
Yes.
surrounded by like Mrs. Rochester hearts on
Oh
it.
my god.
Like he goes in there one day and he's like, okay.
And we're out. Okay, got it. Yep. Didn't need to see that.
Like, do you've seen the wonderful cinematic masterpiece that is Shrek, right?
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Fiona Charming. Mrs. Fiona Charming. That's what I'm imagining. That whole little
Oh my god. Yes. Yes, I'm 100% on board.
Which fun fact, Prince Charming from there, his that voice actor is also in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movie as like a little fox, and it freaked me out because I saw the fox, and I'm like, Prince Charming, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And that's his voice is just always going to be Prince Charming to me.
I didn't. That's Rupert Everett, right?
I don't know, couldn't tell you. I don't know his name. All I know, Prince Charming.
It is Rupert Everett.
Nice.
Thank you.
Amazing. I'm so glad you found out because I don't know. His voice always Prince Charming to me. I don't know what else he's been in except
Okay,
those two.
so funny story. You
Mhm.
need to watch My Best Friend's Wedding,
Okay.
which is Sandra Bullock and
Yes. Wait. No, I've seen this. I have seen this.
so
Not in a long
Rupert
time.
Rupert Everett is Sandra Bullock, or not Sandra Bullock, Julia Roberts's best friend,
Mhm.
and well, best friend, best homosexual friend,
This is
and
the
the
one
whole
that sings, right?
the one that sings. Yep,
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
the scene where he does "I Say a Little Prayer for You" is one of my
Hmm.
favorite like impromptu movie songs of all time. It's so good.
Hmm. Hmm. That used to be one of my mom's favorites. That and Princess Bride.
I mean, your mom has good taste.
Hmm. I thought Princess Bride was a classic, and I was bitterly disappointed to find out that that book is not that old.
No, the book is, and the book is vastly different from the movie.
I don't know. I haven't read it yet.
Okay, then I will not say anything.
Okay. I think it came out in like the 80s. I thought it was a classic, and I was like, oh, I'll talk about it on the podcast. But like, at this point, is it not just a modern classic for our modern
No,
times?
it absolutely is a modern classic for our modern times, but I
Hmm.
think the movie is so much more of a cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah.
I remember being disappointed when I read the book. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay. Maybe I'll just have like a fun little movie sode at some point. That could be fun. I did so one of the childhood favorite books that I'm going to be discussing on Novel Nostalgia is because it's my childhood favorite movie. Um which is Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, which if you've never seen
Yes.
it,
Yes.
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 Yeah,
Oh my god. I
I'm
love Bed Knobs and
saying.
Broomsticks
I'm
so much.
saying. So good.
Mary Poppins, get that shit out. That is not the
I'm
witch for
saying.
me.
I'm saying. Don't
Anyway.
read the book. Do
Okay.
not read the book.
I'm sure it's that weird, like, 1950s British nonsense.
Weird, really racist.
Oh,
So,
of
yeah.
course it
Like,
is.
instead of asking for the bed knob,
Mm-hmm.
originally the kids asked if they could get a ring that summons a slave for them. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that tracks. That
Tracks.
100% tracks, but that movie is pure fucking gold.
Oh, I know. I was telling Nova, I was like, maybe like we should also just both watch the movie, maybe perchance.
I watch that movie at least once every other month or so. Like, I
Yeah.
just get overcome by this ab and this is weird. It was my grandpa's favorite movie. And so it was a like and I my grandparents, I stayed with them a lot when I was a kid. So like that
Mhm.
movie has nostalgia things going on for me. So whenever I watch Bedknobs and Broomsticks, I buy myself some Werthers and
I
just have a
love
time
that. Love
because
that.
grandpa's favorite candy, grandpa's favorite movie, just settle in and like be 7 years old again. And it's really fun. Like we also watch Mary Poppins and like,
Hmm.
the sort of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was another big one as like fantasy kids movies, Sword in
Hmm.
the Stone. But like, no, Bedknobs and Broomsticks is the cultural
Hmm.
movie or the seminal movie of my childhood. So
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes. Okay. Oh, so good. Which we still have to watch a movie for this whenever we finish this book.
That's true. We have options, but
Mhm.
none of them are great. They're all fine.
Yeah, we'll pick the one that's got. Should we pick the most unhot Jane Eyre, like just to be canonic about it?
Um, we could do that. I would mostly like if we could pick the most canonically hot Rochester.
Ooh, that could be fun. Maybe we go that way. That's a little more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then she has to be like, he's ugly and square. And we're like, this beautiful. You
Right.
just it's called Brad Pitt square. What are
Right.
you
What are you
talking about?
doing? I am right. I am enraptured in the screen here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Woo!
I just heard that apparently the whole reason they picked Yennefer was because she wasn't that attractive. I'm like, what do you
That
mean?
fucking I don't know what the fuck that was.
I
It's
just saw
like you
like it
mean
slip through my news feed, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you mean like this gorgeous, beautiful
right,
woman?
this stunning woman, you were like, we want you to reassess your views of what beauty standards are. And it's like, didn't need to reassess.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous
And
already.
people try to
Totally
say
fine.
Margot Robbie is not hot. I'm like,
What?
are we looking at the same woman? Like, there's been this whole thing recently where like dudes on Twitter are like, I don't know what everyone sees in Margot Robbie. I'm like, well, she's right there.
Right. This is
What?
people should not be allowed to have opinions on the internet.
Yeah.
Quite frankly,
Throw them in the garbage.
just throw them in the garbage. If a person has an opinion on the internet, it's probably wrong. I'm sorry.
Correct. Just if you're rating attractiveness, I'm just gonna say it wrong.
Right. Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you
What?
say anything less than stunning and hot, your opinion's out the window.
Right. I'm sorry. I don't
Well, it's
care.
like, like what is her name? Kat Dennings.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Okay. Everyone's been like controversial opinion. I think she's actually hot. I'm like, yeah, she's objectively hot. What
Yeah.
do you?
10 of 10. What are you fucking talking about?
I just- I don't know. People have been like really thinking that they're like found something unique by being like, yeah, Kat Dennings is actually kind of attractive. Like, yeah, dude.
Did you not see Two Broke Girls?
I'm
Did you not
saying.
see any of the Thor movies? Did you not see
I'm
anything the
saying.
woman's ever been in? Come
Literally.
on.
Like, did you just discover the internet today? I'm
Right.
confused.
Did you emerge from your rock and be like, the internet, amazing?
Who cat Denning? Dennings? I don't know.
Who dis? Ah, you
Attractive.
controversial opinion. No, my guy, not a
Look, is it
controversial
rage
opinion at
bait?
all.
I
Oh, it
don't know.
absolutely is.
It has to be, right? Like, you can't be that unawares.
I mean, I guess negging is a thing, and maybe that's what they're trying to do. But
Oh,
like,
I forget that that's a thing.
but it's just like,
Throwback.
listen, remove remove the Cheeto dust from your fingers, and then maybe we can have a conversation about attractiveness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Get out of your mother's basement and then we can talk. See the light of day.
Right. Touch the grass, and then realize there are attractive human beings out there, and they put them on
Yeah.
screens. That's their job, often.
Yeah. How wild. I know. I am shocked. You're shocked.
Bef- who knew that before the year of our Lord 2023, everyone on movies or in movies was ugly?
I don't know. Brad Pitt just never was in a movie. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
Right. It was some other
Angelina
guy.
Jolie? Whomst?
Never heard of.
Never
Never
heard
heard
of.
of.
So strange.
But you know, these are the same guys who'd be like, Jade Eyre's supposed to be ugly, so maybe we should get Kat Dennings to play her.
I'm just watching this, for the plot, obviously. Like,
Right,
just
for the plot.
For the plot. Um, losing a couple buttons just for the plot. Just for the plot.
It's just for the plot, okay? Okay, so we've done a fan casting of like what real humans would think a Jane Eyre movie should be. At some point, we should fan cast this as
the hub
neckbeards.
of Jane Eyre. Hold on, I don't have it together.
It's okay.
Oh.
But we could get Seth Rogen to play Rochester.
Seth Rogen would make such a good Rochester. I just,
Yeah, I mean, just like he's got a legitimate talent, he could be a very serious actor.
I just, listen to his podcast for the people he interviews. So
Right, that's it.
I don't agree with any of his opinions. It's just like the people he interviews. Like Andrew Tate was probably one of my favorite.
Oh god.
Spotify bans me. I'm like, what happened?
What happened, man?
Okay.
Wait, I said Seth Rogen, not Joe Rogan.
Oh, I forgot.
Well, that's
I
even
forgot
fucking
the
better.
song.
Can you fucking imagine Joe Rogan playing an English lord? Jane Eyre would bring her fucking artwork up there, and he'd be like, "That's interesting." Could you say more about that? Like, how does this, is this like woke at work?
Crying.
I'm so sorry.
It hurts. Okay, for context, if you don't do the Seth Rogen laugh, I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay, good to
All
know.
I know is
Okay, I understand.
If I'm thinking about like dudes that are just the worst, I'm always gonna think about Joe Rogan.
I mean, that's 100% valid. That's 100% valid.
Does Seth
I
Rogen
just
have a
don't see Seth.
podcast?
My issue, I have no problem with Seth Rogen. I think he's delightful. He does pottery and it's great. I just don't see him as pulling off brooding English lord.
No, he's gonna laugh and it's gonna ruin the whole thing.
Exactly.
I love his laugh though. I don't know what it is. it's so distinctly him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so good.
Anyway, now that we fan cast Joe Rogan as Mr. Rochester, I'm ready to burn this book. Just throw it out the window. Like, nope, I can't think of it the same way now. I do not condone book burning. Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
I'm so glad you're able to carry this conversation on because I'm still dying over here.
Just
Okay.
take a minute. It'll be fine.
Oh, okay. I can breathe again.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Think of Margaret Thatcher,
Wait, who's Margaret Thatcher?
the terrible Prime Minister of England from the 80s.
Oh.
She's like Ronald Reagan, but
Oh.
British.
Okay.
Yeah, really not funny. Just awful. Actively awful. Anyway.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, again, I don't know anything about the world.
It's okay. Sometimes it's better that way.
Yeah. Except like sometimes people make like fun little pop culture references and then they like laugh and then I'm just like, do I just fake laugh? I usually fake laugh because I'm like, I can't get in like I'm just meeting you for the first time. I can't explain to you the fact that I don't know anything.
See, I think you can. And you make it a joke. You do the Captain America from the Avengers when he says, I get that reference. You instead go, I don't get that reference. And then you're making a reference while you're not catching the reference.
Yeah. Well, it's like sometimes it's like supposed to be like cultural too, and I'm like, I feel like a dirtbag. I don't want to be like, hey, can you explain this to me? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I mean, the alternative is to keep a running list in your head and then go to Wikipedia at the end of the night.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that, but then it's like, at the end, do I like text you and be like, "Hey, yo, friendo,
I got it."
ID."
You could.
Like I thought this was a hee hee ha ha, and I didn't know it was a sad, 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 sad. So, apologies.
Yeah, but those sort of misunderstandings are where we grow as people.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to get better about that. That's like my little personal goal is to be like understanding the world.
Yeah, it's never a fault to say that you don't know because that's an opportunity to learn.
Yeah. I don't want to offend people being like, how do you not know? I'm like, I don't know.
Listen, if people respond to you that way, fuck them. This is my cult leader moment for the day. I'm like, listen, be open to new knowledge as it comes to you, man. It'll be okay.
That's
It'll be
beautiful.
okay. Yeah.
I love that.
For $9.95, you can have the rest of my TED Talk. I accept PayPal and all major credit cards. Yeah, subscribe to my Patreon. You'll get access to that
new web series.
Content.
My masterclass is.
It's really about unlocking your inner potential. Parentheses. Control. Submission. Did I just watch the Nexium documentary recently? Yes, I absolutely did.
Did you ever watch the ID channel, by the way?
No, I haven't had a chance to.
Fair.
But it is high on my list of things because I want to. Netflix keeps hitting me with more true crime murder shows that I am powerless to resist, even as I know that they are a terrible influence on me. Yeah. But they're just like, do you want to know about missing persons cases that became murders? And I'm like, yep, boop.
Put it on. So we find out the new dude is Mr. Mason, and he apparently lives in Jamaica. And I'm like, red flag.
Mm-hmm. Colonist says what?
Yeah, colonist said whomst. I kind of forgot that Jamaica was a British colony until this moment. Like, I know that like the Brits took over pretty much everything, but I forgot just how far it went, you know?
Everywhere. Their little grubby mitts were literally everywhere.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't them, it was the French. And if it wasn't the French, it was the Germans. And if it wasn't the Germans, it was us. So, ba-da-da-da-da.
In Spain.
Oh, Spain, of course.
Yeah, I forgot about Spain.
Yeah. You know, Spain.
Yeah.
And Portugal, actually.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Did you know that in 1495, don't Google this, I may be wrong, but there was a treaty in 1495 or thereabouts, the Treaty of Tordesillas, where the Portuguese and the Spanish monarchs went to the Pope and were like, "Hey, Pope, we've got overseas colonies. Who gets what?" And the Pope was like, "Portugal, you get this half, and Spain, you get this other half." Literally,
Wild.
there's a line that
Hmm.
they drew, and are like, Spain gets everything east of that line, Portugal gets everything west of that line, and that's why Brazil exists,
Oh.
because the line,
Hmm.
the like very tip of Brazil, that's the furthest east part out,
Hmm.
was technically on the Portuguese side. And so
Hmm.
the Portuguese were like, we get to colonize there. And Spain was like, the fuck you do? And they were like, the treaty.
Ah.
It's ours. So that is why Brazil exists, because the furthest out part of
Insane.
Brazil in the Atlantic, technically on the Portuguese side of the entire globe. What the side on, like, how it works when you have a globe
Hmm.
is unclear, but it was mostly just like they didn't care that much about the other
Hmm.
parts.
Hmm.
Spain wasn't in India really, or the, Indonesia. Uh Spain was mostly just like, we would like no one else in the Americas, please and thank you. And the Pope was like, cool, but of course fucked it up.
Insane.
Thank you for
Like,
letting me do that little rant.
yeah. Like, it makes me think about it. Like, what was the language in Mexico prior to Spain being like, ayo?
I mean, it was a there are language families, but what
Mhm.
the language spoken by the Aztecs was the predominant one, because
Yeah.
they had client states that required communication. So I think they had mutually intelligible, similar
They had like a
languages, but
common ish.
yeah.
Oh.
But it's related to it's related to indigenous American language from the plains, because that's actually where the Aztecs are believed to have migrated from
Hmm.
at one point.
I didn't know any of that. I
I,
don't know. I honestly, I didn't know where the Aztecs were.
Mexico City.
Did not know that.
Yep.
I just keep seeing, like, the buildings. I didn't
Hmm.
know. I didn't know where they came from.
Mexico. If you want to visit, there are a couple different sites you can go to.
Wild.
Hmm.
Yeah. Huh. Again, there's another thing about history I just missed out on. So,
His history was my major, and I specifically studied the early modern and colonialism, like early pre 1700s colonialism and
fun.
religion. So
If I was a vampire, one of my things I would do would be like medieval history, just for funsies.
my partner is a literal Crusades historian. That is what she teaches and what her dissertation and PhD is in.
That's so cool.
I agree. She's the coolest person I know.
When if I ever become a vampire, I will approach both of you and be like, "Do you want to vampire and also give me knowledge?"
I mean, immediately yes, and then yes. See, this is the thing. People are like, I don't know, man. When you're a vampire, like everybody you know dies. It's like, yeah, I'm a human being.
Hmm.
Everyone I know dies.
I'm
Like
saying,
that doesn't change, but it does give me the chance to make new friends. And it's all like, you cherish the friendships you have when you have them, rather than just being
yeah,
like, they will inevitably die. Guess what, my dude? We all inevitably die. So I would absolutely take the opportunity to just be able to wander around this earth until the sun claims me.
yeah. Like, I don't know. Being a vampire sounds pretty great.
Correct.
Immortal. You become super hot.
Need I go on?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a third point, but I don't feel like I need one.
I don't think you do either. Listen,
Man,
drinking blood,
whatever.
problematic, but like, hey,
Blood
vamp
banks exist.
they exist, and Vampire the Masquerade has taught me that, we can go into this in an open and consensual way. We don't have to be monsters.
There's a workaround for everything.
Always a loophole. That's me finding the loophole.
I'm saying people are into some freaky things.
Correct.
I don't foresee this being a problem. I see no downsides.
The number of
Only ups.
downsides is literally zero.
Zero.
The sun, awful. Terrible. It burns. It burns me, a human being.
Hmm.
Why would I?
There's no
I mean,
melanin here. I die
right.
as soon as I go
I
outside.
could. I if a vampire Alex really wants the sun, there are sun lamps I can get. Just put it on my little vampire desk.
Yeah.
My body's not going to be processing for vitamin D because I'll be dead.
Hmm.
So it's really just psychological. You just put the little lamp there. You're good to go.
I'm chilling. Maybe me and all my little vampire friends, we all live on a cul-de-sac together. You know?
Perhaps a house on in Staten Island.
We can have multiple vacation homes. We
Yes.
can all build our wealth because we'll be like, you know what? This lifetime I'm really just getting into cryptocurrency. Um, I just I think I'll hit you up. How is your schedule in like 50 years? Do you have any plans yet?
No? Great.
Great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I'll
have
catch
been looking I have been looking into NFTs. I'm giving that 25 years and seeing what happens.
I'll hit you back up, let's give it like, I don't know. Let's do like 100 years from now. We'll all go to Barbados. We'll have like a little reunion. Just make sure every 10 years or so to check in. We'll all check in. Everyone will
Right.
send their new phone numbers.
Just a quick check-in.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be big.
Make sure to update the Excel spreadsheet of your new alias.
Right.
Okay?
I want to be sending birthday cards to the right place with the right person.
Yeah. I can't listen. I can't keep sending my birthday cards. I keep sending them to your New York apartment and I keep getting a return from someone named Willow. I don't Are you Willow? Is your new name Willow? I need to know. Like, it's
No.
fine. I'm okay with it. However, you just need to let me know.
Here's the loop, put me in it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. I know we've been friends for like 1,000 years, but like, listen, you have to like let me know. Who am I going to drinks with you or am I going to drinks with a Willow? These are just important conversations for us to have.
It's basic common decency, my
Yeah.
friend.
Listen,
We
we all
we
know
sacked
it.
Constantinople together. The least you could do is is give me your new address.
Yeah. I feel like it's not that hard. I shared this Excel spreadsheet in Google Sheets to all of you.
I was gonna say, this is not an Excel spreadsheet. This is a Google Doc. You
I'm
need to get
sorry.
out of the '90s, my friend.
You're right. I keep doing this. It's just my age showing at this point.
I
You
get it.
know. Yeah.
We all find
I
decades to stick in.
I know that the new thing is, the plasma cannon, Facebook, Instagram. I just Again, I can't do another social media. I really can't. I got really into I got really into trying to come up with a fake social media really quick. I got really into network screening and I don't know if I can go into a new one.
They yanked it out from under me, and I'm not ready to be hurt again.
I was a Tumblr girly and I don't think I'm ready to move on.
This is the vampire content we need. Just saying.
Yeah. I just listen. If you ever have a little TTRPG where you just want a vampire that's going to talk a whole lot about nothing, let me know because I will age myself in this little vampire body and it'll be my favorite thing. All I want to do is monologue. Let me do it.
Noted.
If you just want someone to come in for an episode and monologue, let me know.
We need one vampire monologue. Can you
Yeah.
do it?
I'm there.
I'm already here monologuing. Don't
Yeah.
even worry about it.
I've already started. Welcome to my manor house. You'll recognize this from the Great Crusades. Yes, yes, I was there. Of course, I was there. I'm a vampire. We're all at all the historical events. Who do you think gave the Crusaders the crusade? Me.
You did that.
I did that. Don't ask me what the crusade was. You're asking too many questions. I
Who
did
dumped all the
too.
tea in the harbor? I did.
I
You know
did.
why? I thought it'd be funny. Turned into a whole thing.
It was Lipton. We all know it.
We know it. It's true.
What else would it have been? Black tea? Are you kidding?
Absolutely not.
That's a gold mine.
How dare you?
How dare you? Lipton is the thing we give the peasants, okay?
And the fish.
And the fish, obviously. They did crave it. Listen, have you looked in that harbor? The water was already gross. I'm surprised they even noticed I put the tea in there, okay? It's disgusting in there. So,
It's Boston. It's nasty. Deal with it.
yeah, all that me. I did
Okay.
that.
Listen, your audition has been approved. I will see
Yeah,
where we can fit you
amazing.
in.
Amazing. I like to monologue. It's great for a podcast host, you know.
Indeed, it is a very good podcast host skill. It's also a good DM skill. Just saying.
Just throwing it out there, just a little hee hees and a little ha ha's. I did DM one game and that was a lot of fun. Did I tell you I did Honey Heist?
You did, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a game I have not myself played, but it is very high on my list.
I had no prep. There was no plan going into it. It was great. I made all of my little players meet at a bar as bears. So I was like, what better scenario?
Controversial opinion: prep is for cowards.
Facts. You heard it here first, folks. Who needs
Literally never
prep?
prepped a game in my life. That's a lie.
I like that you went full uh romance author moment there with your gargle voice.
I'm dying, Rachel. I'm dying. I'm sorry, but I'm
So
dying.
we have to get through this chapter and then you can escape into the cold air in your one bedroom. Okay. So apparently a random lady rolls up to tell everyone their fortunes. And Jane's like, hmm. And everyone else is like, oh my gosh, let's do it. Like, absolutely. And Miss Ingram's like, yeah, one hundo. Let's do it, girl. And all the men are like, should we like vet this person at all? Um,
Except you know that they're all tarot bitches.
yeah. Okay.
Like
I also
the dudes, no, they're super into this. Even though they act like they're not.
I now noticed, just going back through my notes, that blackface happened because I wrote down
Yep,
that they know that she's a real sorceress because she's black and old,
yep.
and I did not put that together because I did this in order and I'm just now reading back through it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yep. Although I
Yep.
think we don't have to address that until the next chapter,
Yep.
which is to say the next episode.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
so
my god.
sorry.
One day we'll get through more than one chapter. It'll happen.
It will. I promise.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
Maybe
listen,
we'll
our
see.
our first episodes we got through like 2 or 3 chapters at a time.
Yeah, we were on a roll. Like, remember when I thought we'd be able to do like 5 to 6?
Yeah, I do remember hubris.
Yeah. I was really just I don't know what I was
To be
on.
fair, we hadn't really interacted, so you weren't to know.
Yeah, because
It's
sometimes I
not your
have
fault.
guests on and we don't like talk that much. It's just like actually actively just going through the episode, like the book, which is fine. But also, I'd like this a lot too. So
Listeners, I'm sorry, you're going to have to tolerate me for a bit longer.
it's funny. We're here for the funny hee hees and the ha ha's. No
The
one's here to
teepees.
read the book.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I was here to read the book, and I
Yeah, yeah.
still am, but also,
We're
you
using
know,
the book as like a fun jumping off point. Okay.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Like if it
it's a meditative focus.
if people wanted just the book, they would just listen to the audiobook.
Good point.
Yeah. So, um, apparently this person is going to tell them their fortunes individually, which is not sus at all. Um,
No,
and also the fortune teller only wants the young and the single. Again, totally not sus even remotely.
no, it's very much like I'm picturing the whole room, and all of the party guests are standing there, and it's like I would like only the single people, and then like Mrs. Ingram gets grayed out, and then it's
Mhm.
like and the young people, and all like it's just in like and that person needs to be 5'2" or less. It's just like we're very narrowing down our options of who is going to
Mhm.
go into that room until we've got like 3 people. And who would have guessed one of them is Jane? Crazy.
Shocking. I just want to know how much he must have put on. Oh, I guess that's the next chapter. I just want to,
Spoilers.
yeah. I just want to know exactly how this occurred, but we'll have to talk about it more in the next chapter.
Oh
But
yeah, I have thoughts about I have
oh
thoughts
yeah,
about this chapter because it is peak dumpster fire for me.
oh yeah, it's something that they should never replicate in a movie.
Absolutely not.
You can leave this scene out. It's you're not missing anything. No
Nope. I
one's gonna
mean,
be mad.
it's very evocative of what his character is, but we get that elsewhere.
Hmm. Hmm. So Blanche is like, I'm going first, obviously, because she's it girl, so she has to. She comes back and looks so mad. Everyone's like, oh girl, what
She
happened?
Angie.
Oh yeah. Um, she says that like none of it's true. Mr. Ashton should put this person in the stocks in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, okay, good luck with that. And then after Blanche goes, three of the girls go together after, and they're like, "Oh, that's the real deal, for sure, for sure."
For sure.
One
Literally.
hundo,
Hmm.
and then Sam, the servant, comes in and it's like, "There's one woman left to see, Jane. They want to see you." And Jane's like, "Me?" And she's like, absolutely pumped.
She's like, okay,
She's like, "Okay, yeah, let's go." And I'm like, "Jane, no, you
stop.
sweet child,
Sweetie, no. Oh
don't do
well.
that."
But she does.
But she does.
But
Yeah.
that's a different chapter.
That's a different chapter, and we're gonna have to cover that next week.
Yep.
Because it'd be
Time
what
has
it
gotten
do.
away from us,
Uh
as
huh.
usual. It happens.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Barely Bookish podcast, where we
Hmm.
kind of talk about the book.
Yeah, in a sort of way.
Yeah, you get there. You get the plot. You know what's going on. I know what's
Listen,
going on.
we've done 18 chapters. That's over
We're
half the
doing
book.
great. Yeah, we're doing great. I'm still thinking about the people that on TikTok that are like, "Let me know when you finish it." I'm like, "You're gonna wait. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a minute."
Build that anticipation.
Yeah. I'm wondering what's gonna happen. You're wondering what I'm gonna react to what's happening.
There's a lot of anticipation for it.
Mhm, mhm.
I do hope that when we get to the big reveal that I get messages and we don't have to,
Yeah.
I want to experience it in real time.
Okay. I might send you a video. We'll see. We'll see how
Excellent.
much I have to say. If I have to say a lot, I'll send you like a voice message or a video of some form.
Excellent.
I'll let you know. Before I send it, I'll give you context if I'm screaming, depending on what's happening.
Okay.
Um, 90%, sometimes I throw my phone down and then I like scream into the distance, so at least it's not
Mhm.
directly into your ear holes.
That's kind of you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I'll let you know before I send it. Uh, Context if there. So make sure you read the message above.
Right. Okay. Don't just hit play in
Yeah, yeah.
case.
In
Okay.
case.
On it.
Headphone warning all the time I speak.
But yes. Okay. Got it.
But that is all we have for this episode. Alex, where can the people of the internet find you and all the things you do?
You can find me on Twitter. I refuse to call it the other thing. You can find me on Twitter at Mightiest Finn. You can find me on Blue Sky at Mighty Finn. I snagged that one. I probably should have done Mightiest Finn for brand purposes, but I don't really care. I play games on the internet and I write games. We've got a Kickstarter that's if you look up backwards TTRPG, you can follow our pre-launch page. We've got 2 new projects coming out in our American post-apocalyptic gothic horror game series. We've got a New England game and a sort of Caribbean, Florida, Gulf states game coming out or for Kickstarter. Otherwise, all of the games I play are on my socials. There are too many to count because I am unkind to myself and my time. So as they happen, you will find out. And that would be the best way to find me.
And we'll see you here next week. Bye.
Bye.